anti-mandates, who oppose
Mhm.
mandates.
Yeah.
And now the definition of anti-vaxxer. So if you're against vaccines, no, if you're against mandates, you were also against
Donuts.
vaccines.
Yes.
Donuts.
That's
Donuts.
true.
Sorry,
Donuts.
FBI agent. Sorry, FBI.
Yeah.
Did you hear him?
Donut.
Ding,
We're
ding.
live.
Well, they've been doing that. They've been pulling that shit since the
So-
JFK. Mark Lane
so,
published his
right.
book on JFK.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, like, because they say, oh, whoever claims controls the money rules the world. Whoever controls history rules the world. Whoever controls language and the meaning of our words, because that's how we communicate, interact, know what to build, do, where to go, is through our words, right? And I think we all need to shut up and start listening to Earth again. That's what I think. I think we need a moment of silence that lasts like 2 months.
Words are ideas, and ideas are everything. They shape the way we think about the universe.
Right.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm.
And whoever controls the language controls your mind.
And then God spoke. So speaking is a very powerful
manifesting. It's It's manifesting power. It used to be anyhow. Yeah. Okay.
So if I heard that right, anybody who's against mandates is an anti-donuter.
Yes.
And if that's true, then that means I'm officially Then I'm officially an anti-donuter, and I'm gonna be an anti-donut guy for life, even though I enjoy Krispy Kreme. But I don't eat Krispy Kreme anymore because they support things that I don't like. So I'm against
I'm anti-reality.
every mandate, and I'll be against. Huh? What's that?
I said I'm anti-reality because this shit is unreal.
So you're right. This isn't real. This isn't real. No, it's a funny thing. I've been going back and forth on TikTok all morning with people about slavery. And my position hasn't changed. Slavery is a choice. We choose whether or not we want to be slaves. And right now, people want to be enslaved to corporations like they did in the past. You can say no, or you can get behind it. Slavery, again, has nothing to do with racism. That's the stupidest narrative that anybody's ever come up with. Slavery is all about a corporation that wants a cheap product. They want to increase their profits. And they can do that by enslaving people in multiple ways. And medical slavery is one of them, right? So slavery is always a choice, and people are enjoying this. So if anti-mandate means that I'm anti-donut, then I'm gonna be anti-donut the rest of my life, because slavery is a choice, and I'll never choose it. You'll never get me to bow to a corporation that's trying to increase their profit because it's cheaper to take away human rights. So I guess I'm officially anti-V. I'm fine with that.
Wait. Ooh, wait. Okay. So Joe told me to send him the link when we started, right? Okay. Look how fast. 3 minutes and 21 seconds. New record. I'm on the list. Listen to this, guys. We are so screwed. Because guess what? When I went on the Facebook to share the link to Joe, it already had a warning for false information for for the donut.
Yeah.
We said the magic words. That's why.
Yeah, FBI all up in my screen right now. I see.
From this show already?
Already, yes.
Oh my God.
Already, we just started. We didn't even finish for them to fact check it yet.
Yeah. But the fact check is
we're all going to start for real.
Facebook or
this
YouTube
season of Ancient Knowledge has been canceled.
But what did you say about fact checkers, Facebook and YouTube? Oh, that's just an opinion. That's not so. I mean, you don't have to take them serious. So that's what they really said. Fact checkers don't take them serious.
You're not lying. We already got our label right there, right? That's the live stream right there. It's already there.
FBI is on your chart. I may not have to do this anymore. This is scary, actually.
I mean, didn't even spoke.
You know what? Again, slavery is a choice. And if Facebook requires you embrace medical slavery, TikTok slavery, Twinkie slavery, cotton slavery, rubber slavery, any slavery I will always fight slavers, period. End of discussion. Whether that's white skin, black skin, Democrat, Republican, corporation, American, I really don't care. I'm always going to be anti-slavery. It's a damn shame that social media requires that you be anti-human right and pro-corporation. And this is why I always say, and I don't know what kind of live stream this is going to become, but the last war is going to be against corporations. There's not going to be the World War III is not going to be nations. The last war that humans are going to fight before we actually are free is going to be against corporations. And the damn shame is you got a lot of people who should know better, who are 100% giving up human rights to corporations because they're scared. They need to grow the F up. They need to stop encouraging the further enslavement of the next generation and stop choosing slavery. That's a bad idea. Stop getting on the boat. Stop putting on shackles. Stop agreeing to give up human rights so corporations can make guaranteed profits from cotton slavery or medical slavery, period. So, Susan, I'm sorry. That just pissed me off.
Yeah,
I'm better.
No, I'm just saying that's crazy. That was within 3 minutes. Within 3 minutes, we were already flagged. That is insane.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's
but it is. I mean,
but
that's totally our choice. I mean, if people just, you have to unplug, do with small business, whatever. People who do their own thing, forget about those big corporations. That is what really should happen. It's always our fault. Whenever it will happen, it's our fault.
All right, and I'm sorry, this is not supposed to be the topic. We're supposed to be doing ancient knowledge.
Yeah, we do ancient knowledge.
But I'm just curious. No. All right, let's leave it alone. Let's let it go, because all they're going to do is delete it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's like a warning thing, and they're telling people, Susan, it's fake news. Whatever. Let's go to ancient knowledge. You can't fight. Right. You cannot fight psychopaths on their psychopathic platforms. It's never going to happen.
Exactly. Well, that's why we keep saying fight, and it is a fight, right? But I think, like I said, we have to be more aware of our words and how we speak,
true.
Right? Because it is a fight. It's a fight to evolve. We can't revolve again. We cannot keep going in this circle again. You know what I mean? Like literally think about it, okay? Every day we are living our lives because of a movie being shown on TV, and we're participating in this movie like it's real, and it's not, right?
It's not real.
And I mean, we could have picked a better one than 1940s, you know what I mean? We could have picked Mad Max or something fun. No, we picked 1940s experimentation, but we're literally living in this weird, not real reality, and just all going along with it, and it's just crazy, and we just keep doing the same circle. And I don't think, we always say revolution, and I get that way too, because I'm sick of tyranny and slavery, but it's evolution. We have to think outside the box. We have to think out of their realm that they built for us. We have to think outside of that in order for this to actually change.
We do.
Okay.
Let's
go. Let's go now to. I mean, we talked that too much now. Let's go to an Asian topic, because I'm a bit fed up with always talking about the same and the same. It is like that. Let's talk something else now.
Well, just push it over to ancient knowledge, right? So, what is the solution? To me, it's philosophy,
and that is the bridge to ancient knowledge. Evolution, personal evolution. All the ancient texts have different words for it, but it's the same thing. Evolution. That's what they're talking about. Whether you're talking about salvation as the esoteric Christians understand it, or you're talking about the Hindus call moksha or release, liberation from bondage. It's the same thing. It's freedom.
But freedom from the mind. It's freedom from the artificial consciousness that has been put on us by things. No,
I don't want to get us banned. Right. You know,
it's the freedom of the mind, the freedom
of the mind,
the freedom
to
of not being bothered by
with what we've been cut off from for thousands of years.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's why we are at that point that we are having the connection when we can have the connection.
Yeah.
That's why.
And Christine, I think if we don't, we're going to die.
Yeah, true.
Our civilization is dying.
But that is like in every scripture is the last judgment. It's the rule in Islam. It's Kalki in Hindu. They know they will. The destruction will come, and it's all if you're aligned. It's what talked about just last week.
Right.
If you identify with something else, you will not succeed. I mean, you will not survive, because the destruction powers are those divine powers who are going to take everything out, who is not identifying with the real spirit, which is the light. And that's also with your ego and your emotions. I mean, that's also not really real. It's just our thoughts, it's our experience, but the light is always,
Lao Tzu says that everything that is not of the Tao will soon cease to be.
Yes. It's like that. And it's just, you can we can talk about it a lot, but it's really a personal journey you have to do. It's actually as special as personal journey for us, and then collective too. But whenever people are going from the road, you should not follow them, even if you like them or you don't like them, whatever. It is really the last judgment. It's about you and actually the divine. It's up to you. What do you choose?
Yeah, it's a choice.
And that is, do you want to enter the kingdom of God, which is the old golden age, or do you want to keep up with your own identifications? But that's it. But anyhow, there are beautiful prophecies about it, and we were talking about it, and but maybe you were talking about Floyd Webster, who did very well, very beautiful, talk about it. And he also says it's a good thing what is happening now.
It is.
The old power is crumbling. Old powers are crumbling down, and they are,
Well, when human beings are in such a sleepy condition, the universe will step in and slap them awake.
Yeah.
And okay, that's a consequence of the choices that human beings have collectively and individually made.
And according to the ancient texts, it's usually a comet.
Yeah. Boom.
So
yeah.
So I'm glad you said that. That's a great segue into everybody needs to go watch a movie called Don't Look Up. That is us right now. And I was intoxicated, but I still got the points of the movie. We will be discussing that movie in the future. It is a fantastic movie if you look at the depths. And that it was based on an asteroid coming, Susan. And I wanted to segue into also something speaking about space and asteroids and UFOs and aliens. Cheryl Rowe said, "Fear nothing." Cheryl Rowe, that's fake news. I know. I said that for hundreds, 5 years since I've known you. No, you are supposed to have a healthy fear of some things. And Christine, you asked me about my UFO, what happened to it. I posted the picture. Y'all seen the video? And so I was heading to town, and something was in a place it was not supposed to be. It was probably like 4 or 5 miles away. And so I challenge everybody. Anytime somebody comes around here, my neighbors and I, we all look out for each other. If you show up, we will challenge you to make sure that you're supposed to be around here. And so I was about to go challenge the thing, and then the thing started flashing red and green and blue. It was on the ground, and I think I posted a video on TikTok too. And I paused for a second, Cheryl Rowe, and I asked myself, the hell am I doing? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm armed to the teeth, but I'm about to go chase down a UFO in the middle of the desert that's flashing orange, red, green, and blue lights on the ground. I don't know if it's grays, avians, The tall
CIA spy
reptilians,
drone they have
the
circling
the
your property. 'cause
CIA,
you're talking
F-
about going off grid and
FBI.
helping people.
Yes,
Where's-
it could have been a
where's
crash
Gerard?
satellite
Oh,
from
I don't
the
know.
Homeland Security. No. So Cheryl Rowe, what happened is common sense hit me. And Christine, to answer your question, what happened to the UFO? I left that damn thing right where it belongs. And I took my butt to town.
I would have
And
looked.
I came
I
back
would go
and it
and
was
look.
gone.
I would have go there. I would have gone to get looked.
No,
Yeah,
I would have too, because I'm done like that.
no.
Sound ends,
'Cause I'm-
sound
'cause
ends, no.
Listen, Christine, if I had a
Yeah.
ray gun, okay, I'm going, you know. I'm literally not too far from the Nellis testing grounds, the Area 51, all the
Yeah.
missile tests and the things they do. If that was a crashed United States Incorporated free
Yeah.
energy devices on the ground that the Pentagon is trying to convince people is aliens, and what do you think they're gonna do to me? What you think me and my pistola and rifle are
You're
gonna
in the
do to the United
Southwest
States
now,
Incorporated?
You're in the Southwest now.
Right.
That's
You're a
alien
cowboy.
country. Yeah.
It's a sign.
Look.
You know what?
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna press a button. They're gonna press it. Who is this dummy coming up, driving up in a truck up to us? Oh, his name is Gerard Kenyatta Hay. Beep. What does this dummy do? Oh, the dummy does live streams and tells people about free energy. So what we're gonna do is, if we keep this craft on the ground and let this dummy go back to his internet connection, he's gonna tell the whole world that we had a free energy craft right down here. And no, right? Press the button. Beep. The next button gonna get pressed. What's the do weapon? The death energy weapon, the doo-doo from space. No, Cheryl
And it's
Rowe,
gonna
you're
sound
supposed to
just
have
like
fear
that.
and
Wait,
Yeah. You will be deleted. You will be deleted. Yeah, that's for sure.
because like I say, stereotypes are funny. Okay, stereotypes are funny. They're not racist. Okay,
Right.
okay. Gerard was like, hell no, I ain't going over there. But all the white people were like, I'll go look. Stereotypes are great.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much. We are not that important.
Are y'all hearing this?
Yeah, but we are not
Are
important.
y'all hearing this?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, Christine.
See, and this is why. See, and people, black people, because now I'm gonna say the thing confirmed. So this is why they don't pick y'all for the damn horror movies. Okay, you know why? Because the horror movie will last 5 minutes. That's why they don't pick us. Y'all need to start being scared. Y'all need to start just go find Jason. If it's a cabin, some UFOs, you supposed to. They'll never pick me. Susan, you are right. And because you know why? Because nobody will believe I'm going to go drive my truck to go look at a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's going to believe if I'm out camping and Freddie is in the house right over there and my white friends want to go in the house. Nobody will believe I go with them. That's unbelievable. That's why I'll never be. But you know what? That was a perfect example. And that's how we can all learn from y'all. White people friends, white cousins, y'all pay attention. Stop running at the danger. Stop it. We love you. We want you to be. Well, I'm tired of y'all getting abductified and having things put in your butt and your eyes and stuff, writing books and making y'all pregnant with some alien babies and hybrid stuff. Stop going after the UFOs. When you see them, accept that, you know what? We're not alone in this galaxy. The dumbest, most narcissistic thing that we've ever believed is we're the only intelligent thing in the world. You're not a narcissist. You're not a sociopath. Aliens are everywhere. Most UFOs are just aircraft that the Rothschilds and Rockefellers don't want the world to know about. And don't go chase down the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, or the aliens, because they're all probably going to kill you and inject things in you. So I'm sorry.
But we are not that important. I mean, if we would just check, we are not important. They're not interested in us. So that's what I just want to say. They're not interested in us.
Last thing in the world you want to be is a target for those things.
No, but they're not. We are not important. What we have is power. We have no power, not at all.
Well, that's what they want,
No.
and that's not what I want. They can have it because it isn't going to do them any good.
Yeah.
It's not going to do them any good.
So I'm happy
end.
to say that when I lived in Pennsylvania, I believed in UFOs, but I'd never seen one. I'm just not a narcissist. I don't think I'm the only intelligent life in the
Never
universe.
saw one.
Now that I've been here, that wasn't the first UFO I've seen. I see them.
Yeah.
I've seen at least 4. And one I saw, I had a guest here. We were sitting not 30 feet in that direction. And the person joins a live stream, but I don't put people on blast. Just watching airplanes fly by. And all of a sudden, one came by that didn't have the flashing airplane lights. It had this blue and green and yellow and all kind of flashy lights going on. So they're out here. And I was told, they said, hey, when you live out here, you're going to see them. And I'm, you know, and it's just my opinion. I think mostly it's humans driving them. You know, I think what Thoth said is true in the Emerald Tablets. Yeah, I think what Thoth said in the Emerald Tablets is true. Like he buried this craft, right? And the U.S. incorporated these people, or the Nazis, whoever, they dug it up. And Bob Lazar said that, right? That some of these craft that he worked on, they were ancient. You know, they look like they've just been here forever. And, you know, whoever has these craft, in my opinion, it's not the U.S. government. These are not classified for us. They're not for us. They're not even for like fighting the Russians or the China. It's not for us, right? The U.S. government has no right to know what the U.S. government departments are actually working on. The presidents don't have access to it. So what does that tell us?
Right. Well, that was the interesting thing about
people
about that Stephen Greer,
and they run everything. That's what it tells me.
What is your thumb all the time doing, Gerard? You're all the time with your thumb on the screen. What's your thumb doing? Your thumb is all the time like this on the screen.
I'm looking at comments. So I got to hit the button so the comments show up.
Okay, that's.
His thumb. Okay.
Yeah, no, he has like always like this. His thumb.
I thought you said his tongue.
No, his thumb.
Okay.
Oh, it's because the because the camera thing is right there. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can flip it. My bad. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got to go get my lunch before the power shuts off.
You know,
we have too much power.
Okay.
You know, talking about him, you know, debriefing generals, even CIA directors.
Yeah, Stephen Greer, you're talking about.
You know, them getting information from him. Why? Because they're out of the loop. And they've been out of the loop since Eisenhower, right? So, you know, talking about the are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought Gerard
are we here?
I don't know.
Are we
That's
real?
the question.
I question.
The question.
Are we really here? Who's really real? I'm sorry.
Okay. What was it? Oh yeah, Stephen Greer. You know,
Stephen Greer. He's talking about that.
He's debriefing all of these, you know, these Pentagon generals and admirals and CIA directors, and they don't know jack shit. Of course, you know, with the CIA director, maybe he does, maybe he's just playing an act. But the point is that these guys have been out of the loop, and he's basically saying to Art Bell, "There's a government behind the government, and there has been since the late 40s."
Yeah,
and it was the financiers, the industrialists, and their probably allies in the top brass in the military that cut a deal with the Orions, the reptilians, and the other really dark, you know, hierarchically based UFO societies for a technology exchange program, and they made a deal with the devil. And look at the U.S. government ever since then. I mean, it was bad enough before. It was bad enough before, but since then, it's been a cesspit. Really has been.
Yeah, but there are two different departments. The one department is all with UFO things, and the other one is with military in Syria, the oil things. And they don't know anything about each other.
There's a surface level, and then there's a deep level.
Yeah.
And that's where all the black budget programs and the real space program is.
Yes.
Very
about
and then there's the reptilian level that controls all those other levels to gather the information to figure out how to build a matrix to steal our souls to keep us here.
And that's you know what I find on the internet? That the Omicron is related to the reptilian lord, Omicron.
Mm-hmm.
He is kind of that kind of devil that feeds on the energy of the people. And its name is Omicron.
Omicron.
Mm-hmm.
That idea. Omicron, that's the transformer that eats planets, isn't it?
No, I think that's Unicron, but it's close. We'll make it work. No,
Oh, that's plagiarism. That's too close. They didn't stole that from the Transformers. I seen that in the 80s. I ain't scared of him.
Yeah, maybe they took from it, but I mean, just kind of,
What's that?
Optimus wins every time.
That's right, Optimus Prime for the win.
There you go.
Yeah, you got to have the all-spark within your heart,
right?
To defeat the evil.
Yep.
And that's for real.
You get the all-spark from smoothies.
Right.
That's ancient knowledge, actually.
Well, that's the thing.
Cartoon.
Yeah, and talking about ancient knowledge seeded in different places. Cartoons like that. Hell yeah, absolutely. Look at them. Yeah, go ahead, Jordan.
I'm sorry, I just got excited because I love the fact that I tricked all my friends into talking about aliens. This is awesome. Aliens control us, right? And this is ancient knowledge, right? All these ancient texts who all said the same thing, because I went to camp on Jonathan, what you were saying about Stephen Greer is one thing he said in that interview was that how Bob Lazar was talking about that our species got help, right? Our species got a DNA, a jump start. Something modified our DNA, and that's the only reason we evolved. And all the religions
that's
say
Stanley
that.
Kubrick in 2001. That's Stanley Kubrick. That's what he's saying at the beginning. The apes, the apes all around the obelisk there, 500,000 years ago, or whatever it was.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he was saying in 2001, is that the aliens changed the DNA there. That's what that scene is really about.
Yeah, and Ty shared a great video one time where it was that doctor who showed the genetic code of humans and apes and stuff and different animals and how they bind like naturally, but there is a sequence in the human DNA that is unnaturally binded. It's like spliced.
Yeah.
The second chromosome, I know what you're talking about. So basically, it was split, reversed, and put back together. And what they said is that naturally that doesn't happen in nature. That this is DNA modification. This is an alteration, and they've known this for a very long time. I think it's the second chromosome. So, so do aliens control us? I think that they're just doing what we do. Right. If we can make monkeys smart, we'll do that. If we can change their DNA, like how many times have we cloned a sheep? We're trying to take dogs and clone our pets. Like we're modifying our own DNA for donuts right now.
We're doing it
so,
now.
I mean, if you really
they cloned Henry Kissinger.
So, all we're doing is we're doing what they're doing. And it's partly because that's just how life goes. You want to make more life. You want to modify things. So I kind of agree with what Riley's saying. Like they control things to a degree. I think that the problem is, like Greer was saying, it takes too long to evolve on a planet. And if you wait for those species to develop some level of sentience on their own, an asteroid's going to kill them before that happens. A super volcano, a pole shift, they're not going to live. And so, yeah, of course we get help, but I think there's probably still some non-intervention thing going on. Like they'll let us kill ourselves. There's no question about it, but I think they're doing what we're probably doing. They're slowly changing the environment around them, the species on planets around them, and the surrounding solar systems, and they're trying to see if they can, I don't know, I guess make friends or just make a zoo, make a nice human zoo.
Yeah, but I
But
want to
we
say
are their
that
animals.
us as human beings, as we are now, right? Not Neanderthals, not pygmies, not giants, whatever. Us as we are now, it's a scientific recorded fact through whatever little experimenty things they say they do. I don't know, because seriously, like, think about it. If you call yourself a truther, nobody knows the truth. How can you call yourself a truther? You don't know the truth, right? So I don't know. But all I'm saying is that we've been here for 300,000 years, supposedly by science, right? So, and the Sumerians' king's list goes back 432,000 years. The king's list on the obelisk in Karnak, Temple of Karnak. I think it's the Temple of Karnak, but somewhere in Egypt, that goes back 432,000 years. Okay. And then like the pyramids are built to a scale of 43,200 and all that, right? So all I'm saying is humans have been here long enough to survive flooding, pole shifts, comet impacts, super volcanoes, tsunamis, everything. They're, pandemics. We always survived all that for 300,000 years.
You find, what I mean? Sue, you find that number over and over and over again in in ancient architecture. It's all over the place. It's all over the planet.
Yeah, and it equals 9.
What the hell does it mean?
And Tesla said 9 is the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making the pyramid right over there, and it's going to be equal to right same. Yes. The mason, the number.
You don't need the big pyramid.
We're going to get the right measurements.
You need the right measurements. In small or big, they have a special measurement which gives a lot of power. So if you have that and you put food on it or in it, it's very, very much frequencies goes very high. You could buy them. 20 years ago they made them. You have like the pyramids, but you need the right measurement, and then you put something into whatever you put in it gets very much energy.
And Christine, Wilhelm Reich's Orgone accumulator, the device that he built, was pyramidic. Was in the shape of a pyramid, and people would sit in it and they'd be cured of whatever ailment.
Yeah, something like that. That would it doesn't need to have to be big. You can do it big, but It's the thing is, it has to be totally exact. Very, very, very important.
It's a science.
We have to have that.
Are time travelers. They're time travelers. They know that I'm gonna build the pyramid right there, and that's why they landed 3 days ago. Because they're like, you know what? Let's go see Dummy. 2 years before he finishes the quartz pyramid. Let's go see what he was like 2 years ago when he was still trying to figure out composting toilets. That's why the aliens landed in my backyard.
If the past, present, and future all happens at once, we're all time travelers. But anyway, my point to the whole, for 300,000 years of humans and everything is because, there is that thing in our DNA that is altered. And who knows why it was altered or for what for. Maybe they knew a comet was coming and there was going to be ash in the air for 5 years. So we needed to breathe differently or something. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? None of us know. Because I don't like saying, because I feel like somehow we were, because the Hermetica, the Bible, Jesus, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, all that, right? There is something divine about us. There is, what I mean? I don't mean us physically.
But that is the thing. That's the spirit. It's not. we make it always so difficult. But we humans came to the point of evolution that we are linked with. Only the human beings are linked to the divine put that link in our heart, and that's connected, and that changes the DNA. If we are really totally aligned with divine knowledge and divine inspiration, our DNA changes totally.
Yeah,
it's also like that, and because
I believe aliens are real, but I think we need to give ourselves the credit that we deserve for the things that we've done, like including the pyramids.
But for me, aliens, but I don't see aliens, but I mean, I don't believe so much that aliens changed our DNA. I more do believe that it's become from the universal light, because we evolve and we evolve. And then at one point we were ready to go to a higher evolution. And then I think they changed that DNA. They can do that because they say, okay, these human beings, they can come godlike people.
Right.
And that's actually the ultimate goal of that is what the divine beings wanted us to become like them, but we screwed everything up so big time. That's why probably maybe most of people will not get there at this moment.
Right. Because to a lot of
not
extent,
the
right,
majority.
we talk about being indoctrinated and propaganda and da-da-da. Well, Rome existed for over 2,000 years at this point. Guess what? They were indoctrinating people 2,000 years ago too. And I think a lot of that whole like aliens build it, gods, angels, whatever, is to get into our heads that we are not capable of things like that.
Yeah, true.
When we are. You know what I mean?
We are.
Except when it comes to toilet paper, because for some reason, when a global pandemic happens, you're supposed to go to the store and get toilet paper. So this is why the aliens don't land. And in my opinion, this is why they're changing our DNA, because we all walking around with caked up poo-poo in our pants. If you don't use wipes on your butt, a bidet, some water, follow the French, you need to clean that. Aliens aren't coming because you just smear it around. That's why they changed our DNA, because they want us to stop praising toilet paper and start using wipes and water. So let me ask y'all a question. You stupid humans. If you're cleaning up your dog's mess, you know how they got that bag in the park and they pick that thing up. Yeah. Say the bag got a hole in it and you get a little piece of dog poo-poo on your finger. Do you just get a piece of toilet paper and wipe that finger and just go about your day? Or you get some water and soap and clean it, okay? That's why aliens don't land, because all you're doing with toilet paper is you're not helping with the pandemic, okay? You're just smearing poo-poo around is all you're doing. All right, sorry.
Yeah, that's the Indian. They use water. They don't use toilet paper now. They do, but they use. If you go to the little villages, you cannot find toilet paper. They use water.
Great job, Indian.
They use water instead of dirty paper.
Okay, I just
tikka masala, China masala, and cleaning themselves. Good job, India, and the Mahabharata. Good job. Damn it.
I just want to say that we went from like being divine beings that have been here for 300,000 years surviving common facts to toilet paper. I just want to point that out real quick. About that right now.
Taking cotton. Taking cotton from slavery and wiping it on your booty.
People were divine. Have hope we can do this.
Yeah.
But weaknesses, that's where we're at.
I had a point, but it's
I never understood why they were gathering toilet paper. I never understood it. I never said, what's this all about?
Because we're smear pooers. We like to smear poo. We don't like clean poo. We just like to smear it and go back out in public.
No, you know why? Because it's one of those like weird little countries in like Europe, like I don't know, whatever. It's not Germany or Czechoslovakia, but it's like one of those little ones that people rarely hear, and then you're like, oh wow, that's a country. In the 80s, they had some kind of weird revolution, tyranny thing, communist.
Estonia, Lithuania, Iceland?
No, I don't remember. It might have been Romania. I don't remember.
Oh, Romania could be, yeah.
It was in the 80s, and it was all over the TV how they went crazy about the toilet paper. And like I said, they repeat cycles and it goes into your head as indoctrination. So then when you get older and they do it again, you're like, oh yeah, ding, 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 toilet paper. And yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, at least faster.
The toilet paper thing happened. It did.
You see, that's so stupid, but it repeats. Those silly things repeats. It is really, that is, you know what I found? So the DNA, I mean, the DNA, it's going like this. And it repeats, everything is in it. And at one point, like whole history, it comes back at your consciousness at one point. And then and that memory, it triggers that memory, and then people start repeating the thing. It is, and that is why we have to, I think, wipe out our karma, wipe out, delete those, those traumas or whatever.
Wipe the karma, not smear the karma, wipe the karma. Soap and water, yes.
Yeah, but we only, like you were saying, Christine, we only clean up the karma when we heal the trauma.
Yeah, true.
And not only heal it, and healing means moving past it also.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Understand it and go past it. Yeah,
Right.
That's like you have with every pattern you keep repeating in your life. If you don't understand it, it comes back till you learned it and you understood it, and then you have to let it go. It's past. It never
Are we
comes back.
talking about karma or doo-doo? What are we talking about? Fecal matter or karma? Because I'm having fecal references.
They're one and the same.
Yeah, they're related to each other. Karma is bad to do. It's bad to do. It's not fertile to do.
See, this is why we can't be friends, because y'all take my bad words and ideas and you make it important and intelligent. I'm sorry, I have to get my lunch, so I let the conversation continue. I have to use the power, or the internet shuts off because I make too much power. Because somebody thought it was a good idea to put up 2 more wind turbines.
Yeah, but can you not let the power go to your neighbor? I mean, if he can use it. I mean, you had a neighbor who needed power. I mean, that old man. But maybe that's too far.
Christine, George, who by the way has a second wolf. Right. So if ever feeding one wolf isn't enough, when the wolf brings around another wolf, just keep feeding them. I have no idea that I didn't told him I'll be at your funeral and I'll let everybody know he's got 2 wolves that he's feeding.
Yeah,
he literally feeds. So I'm sorry, Christine.
You don't like that. He's really cool.
One, I'm not going to run a wire 2 miles and through wolf country. Not going to do that. The wolf doesn't know me. That's number 1. And 2, the solution, when you have too much power off grid, the solution is you got to get more battery. So I have too much power in a day, probably just barely enough at night, but I just need to increase my battery bank. That's all.
Okay. But how is it that it works? So stupid question, because if we have solar energy, then the power company buys it back. So if you have a lot of solar energy, and we don't have it here, but my friends, they have also excess of energy, and the power company buys it back and distributes it to other.
Right.
But he's in the middle of nowhere.
The power company?
He's in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, you cannot do that.
Just out there.
Yeah, but it could be a system you have to figure out. You have to figure it out. So
I intentionally didn't want to be anywhere near the power company. Yeah, I'm at least 20 miles from the power company.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't want to be anywhere near the government.
Yeah, I know.
The only people that come out here are hunters and aliens. That's it. Nobody else comes out this far.
Use it if they're struck down. They need a lot of power.
Aliens have their... the aliens got their own power. They don't need our little buggy, crappy solar power. They got their own power and ray guns.
No, they probably just
and when they shoot,
hey, machine, fly, and it flies. And
true.
Too.
Right.
And it happens.
Right.
And
there they go as fast.
And the low.
Yeah, they go.
See,
they
now
go
think what the anal probes are for.
That's
the anal probes to get that excess toilet paper out there. The aliens are actually helping the people they abduct. They're cleaning that excess toilet paper so you don't get hemorrhoids. Yeah. So they're helpful. But the aliens, and they got guns, and when they shoot, it goes rack, 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 rack.
Yeah.
But see, look, there's a UFO behind me right there. Look at that. There's a UFO right there. Rack, rack, rack,
You know, but I think I heard it from a stream. I don't know, it's Stephen Greer, but they go as faster as thought. The thought, because the thought is very important, and if they have on that frequency of the speed, that's how they can move. So they can move literally from one realm to another realm without just like just like this. But how?
Right. That's
they're all different types, right?
Your mind. That's the fastest form of travel. So space travel is not like I would say physical in the sense
No,
we know it.
yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah. But they
all
can,
different type of aliens, right?
yeah.
So to tie this as best as we can, still back to ancient knowledge and ancient texts, right? The Mahabharata that talked about all the different alien species. They just didn't call them that; they called them gods, right? Same way the Christians do, but they don't want to admit it yet. And so there are a lot of different types. They're at a lot of different places and stage of technology and evolution. So, you know, we're in a massive ecosystem, and they all have different types of technologies. And so there is no alien, like that word doesn't actually exist. There's just life. And all life, from down to monkeys that use, you know, sticks to get ants, up to aliens that just snap their finger or think about it and things happen, you know, that creates religions. But they're all at different stages.
Yeah, but that's the for me it's then more like it's the you knowing how to use divine knowledge, like in Egypt, the old like in initiation, they know how to use it, and they are like they don't. I mean, they cannot. I mean, they live forever, whatever they want. That's the
their science was influenced and informed with religion, what not what we call religion, but what they call religion.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the etymology of the word religion, it means to reconnect.
Reconnect. Yeah, that's actually what I mean.
Reconnect. And so
that is actually the thing in the initiation. Whatever you go to a kind of initiation in your lifetime, those were the one to reconnect and
to reconnect you.
So and let's take that further, right? So the King's List, what we talked about before, right, from Egypt, as well as the Greek gods, right? So they took methodical records. I think it was a Greek god, someone I'm mixing it up with something else.
Sumerian.
But they took methodical records, right?
Yeah, Sumerian.
Sumerian, right. Thank you. There you go. And so we know that their kings lived for thousands of years, right? They kept that data with their tax records, right? This wasn't fake information. Right. They literally had kings that lived for thousands of years because they obviously weren't us, right? Or they were hybrids. And then what happens is eventually, I guess, they get tired of us. The alien gods figure, you know what? They still can't stop, you know, they still don't want to use a bidet. They still want to use that toilet paper, and they walk around here with caked up boo-boo on their butts. And I'm tired of being here. And so what the aliens do, they leave. And when they leave, then a man like, oh, they didn't left, huh? Okay, well, you know what? I'm a god. And they take over as king. But the thing is, the kings have to alter the text. The kings have to alter the opinions to get the people to continue to support them as they were. And over time, they've altered the text over and over. You know, the gods don't fly, don't levitate. You know, they got crowns, and you get these texts like in the Bible. Well, scripture, I don't want to say Bible, where it says that God placed the kings to see over the people, whatever that scripture is. You know, we became a cargo cult. And after they left, the kings took over and became the gods, and people don't seem to realize that. And that's why they keep changing the text. And God is less omnipotent than what it was in the past. These miracles aren't happening anymore because now the leaders of all these religions, they're just men.
But it's not called the Sumerian gods list. It's called the Sumerian kings list. And you're the one that talks about telomeres and stuff and how we're supposed to live longer. So why can't it be? This is what I mean. Like, and trust me, I love the gods and I love mythology and I love aliens. But why can't we start giving ourselves as human beings, right? Like, okay, we are not diseased little monsters that it's going to kill grandma by breathing, okay? We are literally divine beings created by the universe for a purpose, for a beautiful purpose. So why can't it be that, they were just men that actually freed their minds. You know, not freedom. We got a new government. No, that's not freedom. A new government is not freedom.
No, it's
and Sue, you mentioned the King's List.
12,000 years.
Yes, you mentioned the King's List. How long did those ancient kings live? Going back 432,000 years. Some of them are recorded on the tablets as having lived thousands of years.
Yeah, I think the oldest
Wow.
one was 12,000 or 36,000.
Wow.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing. It's always
Right.
3, 9, 6. There's something, I don't know how to put it all
Yeah.
together.
Right.
I'm just
Right.
saying
There's a
we're
science
smart
behind
people,
it.
And if we
Yes.
act like we know and we can do it, we can actually do it.
Right. There's a
I
science.
see where you're
Figure it
going,
out.
Susan, and
Mhm.
and I appreciate it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love humans. I do. And we are capable of amazing things. There was a time when I thought the aliens built the pyramids. Now I think we did it, but I think we had some help. I think they brought us a wrench, some power tools, and they helped us in some ways.
Laser.
But every time I think about how great we could be, and maybe, the telomeres were right, and that was just us living long. I don't know. I go to the grocery store and I see people walking around in face diapers with, buying Coca-Cola and Twinkies and eating junk food, but scared of disease and can't figure out where their diseases are coming from. I think that they're originally, they visited just how the ancient texts, a lot of them told us. They helped us. They gave us agriculture, mathematics. They moved us forward, and then they left. And we're just where we created religions because we want them to come back. Like that famous cargo cult, right? What group was it where the missionary came in and landed and I guess stayed with them for a month or whatever, this uncontacted tribe, and then he left and they didn't know what to do. So they created these effigies of airplanes and stuff. And I think years later or months later, they came back to visit the tribe again. They were all dead. They all committed suicide because their gods left. They created a religion. They created all these Cessna airplane looking effigies and worship to the gods. So anyway, that's my point. Going back with the word religion is we're waiting for the gods to come back. And what are we doing? We're killing each other all over the planet because you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're, Hindu, you're whatever. We're murdering each other the same way these uncontacted tribes do for their gods. And I just don't think that they're gods. I think that there is a God. There's a creator of our simulation, but I don't think anybody really knows what it is. And I don't think it really is too interested in the affairs of man. I don't think that, it wants you to worship it and bow and get on your knees and pray to it. What father actually treats their children that way? What mother actually treats their children that way? If our God is a father, a parent, created us, loves us, wants us to evolve and become great things, why in the hell would it want you on your knees acting like a slave, worshiping it? No creator does that to its creation.
Maybe waiting for God to come back it's waiting for us, like waiting for God to come back is in vain because God is within us. True. So we don't have to wait for God to come back. It's already right.
But you have to honor
it. Have to remember it and honor it.
Yeah. The thing of worshiping is if you don't honor that in yourself, you cannot manifest it. It's not by worshiping like it's presented on television or whatever. That's not worshiping. Worshiping is honoring the powers in yourself by a kind of deep dignity, a self-respect, self-confidence. That's the honoring and the depth you get by self-knowledge, the deeper self-knowledge. It's not worshipping outside because that humans do. They worship outside and this and that, and which is kind of kitsch. Yeah, but it's more the depth when you actually are worshipping. It's more like you respect your highest self. If you do not respect it, you do not honor it, you don't worship it, then it goes not going to work. It's not going to do anything for you. It's like self-confidence. If you have no self-confidence, your life is not the best way. I mean, it's more difficult. But people who have like truly self-confidence, it's like totally faith in their in themselves, in their divine being also. And you can see those people, they have some dignity in them, but true dignity, not by being important, being
right.
VIPs, like the VIPs. Yeah, you can, like in every organization, religion, you have the VIPs and you have to honor the VIPs, but the VIPs you have to delete totally. There's nothing you have to do. We have just to get deep in ourselves and honor that. And then by that, you honor other people. You
Honor
respect
other
other people. You cannot, if you don't respect yourself, you cannot respect anybody else.
Mhm.
If you don't have your own boundaries for self-dignity, self-love, but in a positive way, it's not like narcissism, but in a positive way, you cannot go to other people. It's not, it doesn't work. And then that is what I mean with worshiping or honoring. Honoring is a better word. Honoring. Worshipping is not a good word. I mean, but you're right about that, Gerard, that worshipping what you meant, it's stupid. It's crazy. And that, again, the deities, they say we are ants to them. We're too stupid. I mean, we are like ants comparing with evolution. We are ants, not even more. They're not interested in us.
Or
The
just
aliens,
think
they're
God
not
thinks we're
interested.
stupid. No, okay.
Hmm?
I said Christine just
We-
said
we-
God thinks we're stupid. Right now
Well,
he does.
yeah. So
Right now
no,
he
I don't. God knows we're stupid. God doesn't think we're stupid. God knows how dumb we are. God knows he's omnipotent. God knows that 98% of the population is walking around with caked up poo-poo in their drawers because they don't use wipes. No, but so the thing
God's heart is
is
breaking
back
right
to
now.
no. God loves us. I mean, we love babies, don't we? Babies
Yeah,
walk
true.
around with poo-poo. You
But
know,
we
we just
don't
pushing
love
other people. That's what
ourselves.
I used to. Well, my kids would drop a load in their diaper, like, hey, mama, oh, he's calling for you. He's calling for you, mama. And you go take that baby with the poo-poo. No, I still love the poo-poo. They babies with the diapers like God loves us. But it's just, I don't know, it's weird. Because like my entire life, I actually accepted this idea that gods want to be worshipped. Whatever God is, if whether we're talking about alien gods or gods, there is no worship involved. It's man who wants to be worshipped. It's man who wants you to kneel before. It's man who wants to control you, right? And that was the line. How Scripture talked about when you're supposed to kneel before the throne. Why would God want you to kneel? Do you ever ask your children to kneel? Only if you're a pedophile, right? God doesn't want you to kneel before anything. That's man. That came from kings. When you approach the king, the man king, the king was scared of you. And the king thought that you might have a sword or a dagger, because a lot of times we go see the king, because they say, King, I'm fighting with Jonathan, damn it, you got to judge, because we got this bad deal with him. Hey, he didn't pay me enough money for the bails, king. And when the king we'd go before the king, and Jonathan and I would figure it out together, and I'd take a shank, and I'd shank the king, right, when I got close. And so the kings made you bow. You had to get on your knees in a non-striking pose so you wouldn't kill the king. So it's kings that make us kneel, and they change that in scriptures. They change that in ancient texts, and we just accept it as, oh, it makes sense that God is scared of us and we must kneel before the throne. No, that's man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I ruin the conversation?
No. It's like, I mean, yeah.
It's getting back to Susan's point, the power behind the throne. It's not human. If you go far enough, and it hasn't been for a long time. We're still trying to recover our real history.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to be the work that is going to be going on probably for the next 200 years, I think.
Yeah, Gerard, I believe in aliens because they've been running the world for like 5,000 years. I believe that with all my heart. So
who said I didn't think that you didn't believe in some aliens? Who said that?
Because
I didn't say that. I know you.
I think humans built all that great, amazing stuff during the Golden Age. And then that comet that hit 12,000 years ago, or right before that comet hit, those little sneaky reptilian dudes came in with their bull shizzle. And we've been under their spell ever since, because they're like, oh, these humans taste good. And they're, stuff that comes out is all souped up. Like, yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy. And the whole thing sounds crazy. I know people, and you have to believe me because none of us know anything. But that's what I'm vibing on.
No, it's.
Well, my take on it is
Susan,
that because they all said here's my take on it. My take is that they all look up and they say, so where did the gods come from? They point up, right? The gods came from there, the Pleiades, Orion, the Sagittarius. Like in those structures they built, they were built in worship to these, locations, right? Because they're set up for like the Great Pyramid, where you can see Orion, from certain positions and whatever. And I'm mixing a few things together, probably. But no, I think that I think we made most of the ancient megaliths. I do. I just think that we got help.
Yeah.
I think that we come from people. I think we come from amazing people, and we lost all types of technology. But a lot of that technology and our DNA, it came with some assistance. But more and more, I do think that we made a lot of the structure, like even the Great Pyramid, right? It's not as perfect as we thought it was. There are some imperfections, right? There's some human imperfections. It's just that I don't think we're evolved enough to do all the things that we've done. I don't think we're evolved enough to make it through all the calamities and the pole shifts. I think we got a lot of help. And I think what you were saying earlier, they never left. And the gods will never leave. And that's where we get that text from, gods will never leave nor forsake you. They never leave. They're just, you either can't see them or they leave sensors here. It's like when if we are studying the chimps, Jane Goodall and the chimps. And Jane Goodall, she would never leave nor forsake the chimps. She'd leave a camera in the forest, right? We don't actually ever leave. And so the gods, and however they do it, the alien gods, they're always watching us. Oh, and thus the book of the Watchers.
Yeah, that's they are watching us for sure. Then they will say these humans they're lost. We have to but they're really, I think they're lost, and at the point when they're not able anymore to evolve, they will destroy. You can have that. That's the last judgment. They do watch. They still give us time, but at some moment. Because if we're bringing whole universe out of balance because of our greedy or whatever crazy behavior, they say they created universe. They do not let destroy the universe by our human beings. They will not let it. They will just destroy whatever it is. That is what I believe. Mm-hmm. And that is what we are now have the choice. Are we going for the right thing or not? And I think those beings, those what you call the aliens, they're like demons, or they're like Rakshasas of Nagas or whatever. From the ancient, they give other names, but that's those beings, and they entered in our realm. That is what you said, and and that is we let them in. I don't know. There is some kind of legend too. Why we didn't stop them, I don't know. Long time ago, thousands of years ago.
Yeah, because I do think that we do get help and assistance from time to time, like from the Pleiadians, but who knows? Because Pleiadians could be bad too. But from everything I've heard, they're supposed to be more earthy, divine.
Yeah, earthy. Yeah, me too. Aliens. I thought also.
But like I said, I don't know anything. I'm just saying what I read.
But that's what they say.
Question.
And I think they do.
I have a question.
And stuff. Wait 1 second. I do think those other things help us, but I think they more watch, like almost like a parent, like I said, with like where they look at their children, like you have all this potential, you can do it yourself, and we just keep disappointing the shit out of them.
That's true.
But also, when we talk about this too, you have to keep in mind that we were not the only humanoid species on this planet for the last 300,000 years either. There's pygmies, Denisovians, Neanderthals, those really monkey looking ones. Shut up. I did not. But there was all kinds. There was Amazonian women they found in Russia. So there was all kinds of human, so who knows what was going on? Because there was not just humans on this planet. That's fairly new to dating back to what, only 30,000 years ago, which is not that long ago.
The history
Question.
of civilization on this planet is way, way, way the hell older.
Oh yeah,
way older, hundreds of thousands of years.
I'd say millions of years.
Could be.
I'd say minimum millions of years, and I wouldn't be surprised if we found out in the future it was billions of years. And this is why I can talk with you guys all day, is because we admit we don't really know. I mean, we don't know, and unfortunately,
And
too
how many
much in like
times-
archaeology and the sciences,
and how
they
many
pretend
times-
like they know things that they don't know.
Yeah. How many times
Oh,
has
go
the
ahead,
Earth
Christina.
been rebooted?
right.
Many, many
Right.
times.
And there's no way for us to know. I mean, it only takes a couple thousand years before, like, most of the structures we have would be gone in a couple thousand years. Like there was a great show. It was called Life Without People. And the engineers went through, well, if people just disappeared all of a sudden, how long would our structures last?
Not long.
And there were multiple episodes, but basically pretty much every sign of human life would be gone in like 10,000 years. The only thing that would be left was like
the Hoover Dam and the pyramids.
The pyramids will
and the
stay.
big stone structures, like the big dam, Hoover Dam, like the big things that are made of, that are just so massive. It just takes such a long time. Everything else will be covered up, broken down in rust, buildings falling down. It'll be gone. And so, what would happen to everything that they created long ago? It would be broken down into something else. It's like there's a pyramid in, there's a site in South America, and I forgot which site it was, but I think in China also. But there was a site in South America where they found a whole bunch of mercury, right, at the bottom of this ancient structure, and they were trying to figure out why. Why is all this mercury here? And nobody knows, because what it was used for is finally broken down, and the last element left in it was mercury. But we come from some very okay. But I had a question I wanted to ask y'all.
Did they not poison the whole population by coincidence that mercury?
Well,
No,
it was
like
within a structure.
River of mercury under the temple. It didn't connect to their water systems.
Yeah, it was under a temple.
No, people didn't poison themselves.
And so
but no, it could have leaked somewhere in the water.
Right.
I mean, I have no idea.
An interesting theory was that it was actually a launch pad for some sort of rocket or technology. And after all the metals had broken down and all that, the only thing that was left that nature has trouble breaking down was the mercury. And that's why it was just like this big lake or river of mercury. But no, the question I had was, so it sounds like you guys believe in God. Maybe, we all admit we don't know what God is. Do you believe in the devil or Satan? And what is it, if you do?
I do believe they're evil powers. If we see what's going on this earth, I mean, if you can, I mean, and I'm not. Maybe that's just I mean, and a lot of people are affected by it because they come in the mind. They just attack you through the mind or through and why they get people along doing what they want to do. But they are really truly evil. There is evil power. If there is a God, there is an evil power. I mean, there is opposites. I do believe that. I cannot believe it's not, because otherwise what is happening on earth, what's happening with the children, how you cannot imagine how they suffer. No human being can do that. Not even a bad human being, not even the worst criminal cannot do that. That is kind of satanic or evil power, whatever you want to call, or you call it Rakshasas, or you call it not. Yeah, that is not human.
My take on it is this.
And the thing is, they mesmerize all people.
Yeah. Yes. And in every tradition, in every sacred tradition around the world, you have this type of energy, and it basically all amounts to the same thing. The energy that is trying to keep us stuck.
Yeah.
That is trying to prevent us from growing, changing.
Yeah.
From advancing or developing our consciousness. That's the energy that is called collectively the devil.
Yeah.
And it is that energy that is constantly trying to, get us to exist and dwell in fear, in anger, in greed, in all of the lower vibrational, what we would call lower vibrational energies,
Right.
which is just a way of thinking.
Yeah.
Which is just a way of thinking. And you talk about fear, you talk about anger, you talk about all those vices. It's basically a way of shutting your consciousness off from higher influences, from cosmic influences,
Yes.
from ideas that will help you transform. That's why they want to cultivate in the human race fear, anger, rage,
Yeah.
killing, revenge, you name it, all of it, because that will keep us stuck and repeating the same stupid behavior over and over again.
Yeah. And that's why we call it a spiritual war. It's
Yes.
You have the good powers and you have the evil powers.
Yeah, that's basically it.
And
So
that's
it's
why we must be really special, because why does whatever it is fight over us so bad and need us?
Right.
Yes, exactly. That's because the human is a special kind of
divine beings that forget what we are.
Yeah. No, but that is what the deities also say, that the humans are the most special beings, but they don't acknowledge themselves because the negativity powers are trying to bring us down, and the evolution is to become godlike man, and negative powers try to bring, and that's the war, because the evil powers want to destroy the creation of God. That is their ambition. That's just what they want. They want to destroy the creation of God. But of course, that will never work, because they are also created by God.
I think one of the things that makes us so special, right, is because if you're like a positive energy, if you're just positive energy in the universe, or even like an animal or whatever, right, or a plant, you're restricted to your nature, right? The nature of how you were made and what your purpose is.
Yeah.
Humans have been given.
Do you mean limited by? You mean limited by their physical structure, their physical nature?
No, just like even their natural processes of what they do in existence and serve their. You know what I mean? Even though I think everything is alive to a certain extent, but we've been given free will, where we're not limited to our nature. We're not limited to our basic instincts. We can think and make choices of our own. We're not dictated really by anything. Like even when we say in astrology, right? You're born under these certain energies, and they create a fate. But we've been given free will where we can make a different choice and achieve a destiny.
Right.
And in the Hermetica, it says, which I'm not going to quote this right, but man is created, like the grand cycle of life will not be complete till man does his part in the completion of the universe through his creativity and art and beauty. And we're wearing freaking masks. We're supposed to be helping create this beautiful finished masterpiece of some cosmic God universe thing.
Yeah.
It's beyond my understanding, but I'm saying I'm like getting there.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to have to work on me to get me to accept that we're special. I don't think we're special. I think we're unique.
Yes.
But I think everything that this simulation creation, I think everything is unique, but not special in terms of like we're better than other species or aliens or anything.
No, it's not about
different.
It's not about that, but we have consciousness. We have consciousness, and the animals.
I think everything has consciousness.
They have the animals. They have
the dog conscious,
but they cannot go in ego and superego, and I mean emotion. I mean, in those two realms where we all the time go, animals cannot do that. We have the choice to do that. We better don't. That's why we are so mesmerized. But animals and nature and plants, that they have a kind of godlike consciousness, but they never. It's not free will. They're bound by.
They're not free will.
They are not free will. The only species we have is free will.
We can make a choice to be an asshole or a divine being.
Yes.
We can make that choice.
I think, okay, hang on. Go with me. See, I think we do that with our hubris for the timeline, right? So if you go back to our beginnings, we did come out of primordial goo, right? We were at some point related to apes, jumping around on trees, sniffing each other's butts because we didn't use toilet paper to find out who got the good bananas on what tree so we can go there eat them bananas. So we were them, and then we became something else. Or we just evolved, or we got help. So dogs will eventually evolve. Right. Dogs will eventually evolve, or whatever that's conscious at their level will eventually become something greater. So we are them. We're just in a different. We're just. Hang on. We're just a little bit.
I'm following him. He's right. You're right.
Okay. So, and this is why you've got praying mantis aliens. This is why you got avian aliens with wings, the ones that look like the bugs. You have the fish aliens, because most of planets out there are aquatic. Everything's evolving, and everything goes from maybe conscious level 1 up to conscious level 15. But I think we're all the same. So that's what I'm saying. That I don't think that we're special. I think we're
animals.
Unique.
But animals, they evolve too. They become a human being after some time. And they get the same evolution. Right. And we can devolve, we can become an animal again because we did not behave. And that is, maybe Western people won't believe it, but that's for sure. If you see some animals, they act like human beings, really like human beings. They are really people who are back incarnated in animals. And I'm 100% sure you can beheat me, but I can see that in animals, that some animals are just coming from human beings. And some human beings are just coming from animals. That it's really true. And I mean, that's what I believe. Let's see, and I'm not the only one. It's we evolve and we can devolve, and animals can also evolve. But it's not the time to become a human being. It seems I would wait a little bit later.
And plus,
people are talking about sea life. And sea life is very intelligent, right? Dolphins and whales. And part of my theory, though, too, also is they can talk and they can think and they can be conscious. They just don't want to talk to us. There's no reason for them to talk to us. There's nothing we got to say.
They do.
They do talk to us. We just don't. Because we're so used to opening our mouths, we don't see emotions, facial expressions, behavior, body language as language, but it is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
but they have
those dolphins that so that there's a shark coming and there's a surfer there, and then the dolphins all of a sudden start circling around the surfer because it makes weird vibrations in the water, so it distracts the shark. Right. They're talking to that surfer saying, yo, dude, you're in big trouble, so we're going to circle you to get to the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that is the evolution.
Humans are
some animals.
Humans are too stupid. And humans are too stupid to understand that form of communication, ESP or whatever they're using.
Yeah. But they're very intelligent, but there's elephants are very intelligent.
Yes, they are.
Very wise. Dogs also, and they're the people they're the highest in the animal life but also lions and tigers. They are the highest one. They're very intelligent. We see them as predators, and they are wild, but it's not. I mean, we see that like them, but they're very intelligent and very high in evolution in animal, dolphins, like elephants, like whales. They have also their own category, and there are also animals who are lower, like snakes. It's not it's not an auspicious energy, I would say, but they also evolve.
I was reading this earlier, and this is exactly what we're talking about.
Elephants.
Go ahead.
Sorry, just real quick. Elephants actually hold funerals and mourn their dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they will, a year later, on the day that one elephant died, they will mourn it again. They actually remember.
And you know what they do? You know what they do? If they know which killed that baby or something, if they find that hunter, they will kill them. Elephants. Yeah, really, they do that.
And did you hear the story? about the elephants that came to the man's funeral who used
Yes.
to, I guess,
Yeah.
I don't know if he took care of them or just knew them or something.
Yeah.
I think he just knew them from the wild. When he died, they somehow knew there was a gathering for him and they showed up for the funeral.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, there's so much we don't. And so to wrap up my point is I don't like the word special. And maybe just word salad. You know, I think we're unique, and I think everything has
true.
a place in the universe, and everything is special in its own way. And there's a design for it in the universe.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
there's
true.
this
I mean-
dark archon, devil, whatever you want to call it, you know, negative spiritual energy, and maybe it resides in us. But it
I think
doesn't
a part
want
of it does, and we
our
should not
purpose.
submit to it. Mhm.
Yeah,
You know what?
it doesn't want our purpose to come to fruition. It doesn't want us to be unique or special. It wants us to be clones. It wants us to basically mimic each other and not become these independent, sovereign, amazing, unique creatures that we can be, because we start to evolve spiritually and in other ways.
Instead of saying we're special, then what about we've been given a special gift that most other beings in the universe have not been given, which is free will, and we squander it because we could become godlike if we stopped acting like these little scared monkeys that need. You want to talk about the devil? Isn't there some dude on TV every day telling us what we should put in our bodies?
The Fauci. That is quite close.
Satan's real, and he's on the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's busted. I mean, the book of him, if you read the book of him, he should be totally done. But they have a power.
He should have been arrested.
Why are they still alive?
Yeah,
but
should have been arrested in 85.
Yeah, but they have very much power also. Otherwise, they would have been in jail. They have the power. They have from the evil side. They have a lot of power also.
Well, jail here, Christine, it's not for bad guys. It's not for bad girls.
Poor people.
Jail here, jail here is for anyone who defies profit of corporations. Because the laws are written for the corporations, and so here, if you're in jail, you either did something good and you defied profit, and to go back to what Susan said earlier, is who tells the truth. Because they're all dead. They all were killed. Everybody who tells enough of the truth is in the cemetery, right?
Yes.
I'm still alive and breathing and running around here, and my friends are like, "You're a truther." I'm like, "No, obviously I'm not, because I'm still alive."
Yeah.
When you tell the truth
not for long, because they flagged your video within 3 minutes.
That was
you're on the list. You're on the list.
That was your comment. I did not accept responsibility for that. You started out the live stream that way. They coming for you. I got aliens protecting me, damn it.
Gerard was just talking about
are really nice people who are subconscious, like on another quantum level, killing me with their genetically modified DNA all day. But I have to love them because that's what God would do.
Love them, don't touch them. Again, and whites works for a lot of things. You shake their hand, get them wipes, because they shed.
Shit. I know.
But anyhow, you know what? They want to divide us, the one part and the other part. So okay, it's good. They can poison themselves, so we can nicely be on our own realm.
Yeah.
It's what they want to do.
Lori,
right?
I'm sorry.
I had to train someone.
This conversation is gonna.
Okay, well, stop. I had to train somebody today, and I forget why she said it, but she's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm fully donutted."
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I ate all 3 donuts.
It's become a verb.
And I just was like, oh, okay. But in my head, I'm like, great, I'm going to have my period every day for 3 years till my uterus falls out. It's just great. Still love you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but that's
all
the
right.
point.
So let's start to wrap this up before this goes in the wrong direction. We done did periods and poo-poo and wipes and toilet paper and aliens and everything else. Let's start to wrap this up.
In fact, it is from being around donut people. It's terrible.
Yeah. Try living like a couple thousand feet from mountain lions. Dun 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 dun. Which is why I have to go. It's getting dark. I got to start to feed the dogs, wrap things up, and start shutting camp down before it gets dark. Anyone want to take a shot at summarizing the ancient knowledge we just went through?
Yeah, things are not as they seem on this planet. Things are not as they seem, and you know the line from I've been using the Truman Show in my class, and the line that Christoph says to the interviewer in the middle of it when he's being interviewed is, "Human beings accept the reality of the world with which they are presented." It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
If Truman's ambition was more than just vague, he could escape at any time, and there's nothing we could do to stop him. Ultimately, what disturbs you, and he's talking to Sylvia, ultimately what disturbs you is that Truman prefers his cell. And then she says, "You're wrong, and he'll prove you wrong." So there you go. It goes back to choice again.
Yeah, so instead of us sitting around waiting for God to save us, God's waiting for us to save ourselves.
Yep.
All of that.
Yep.
All of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm totally agreeing with don't need to add anything more. It was, we know what we have to do. Just we have to do it.
Just got to
We're all
go do
living
it.
in Plato's cave.
Yes.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
Nothing wrong with talking about it, but at the end of the day, you got to be about it. You have to live. There's a difference between people who talk about it and people who go out and do it. So anyway, all right. Well, this has been Christine, Jonathan, Susan, and Gerard with Ancient Knowledge. Hopefully you guys learned something, but
Ancient knowledge and toilet paper.